Hey, Jazz, how are you?
Thank you. You're live.
All right, thanks. So, there are the, yeah. Well, thanks for coming to the Battle Creek Area Clean Water Partners meeting. I'll just go around and have introductions. I'm Patty Hope Meluish, City of Battle Creek Environmental.
Doug McLaughlin with Kalamazoo River Watershed Council.
Charles Wilkie, DPW Director for the City of Springfield.
Frank Schumacher, Lakeview Schools.
Andy Story with Kellogg Community College.
Stephen Lewis with Battle Creek Mountain Science Center.
Kirk Truitt, City of Battle Creek.
J.F. Schacht, Charter Township Independent.
All right, thank you. If you had a chance to look at the agenda, we can go ahead and get that approved. If I have a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve that, Patty.
All right, thank you. Second, all right, all approve? All right, so, and then approval of the minutes from September 22.
A motion to approve.
Okay, thank you.
Support, Patty.
Okay, all approved? All right, great. All right, well, we'll just kind of buzz through, this is just give a recap of the events that happened in 2022 and some of the metrics here. So we had, from our styrofoam events this year, we collected 2,736 pounds of styrofoam. They went to DART container. We had one electronics event, 245 participants, and we collected over 16,526 pounds of electronics. And this was the first year we worked with Schupan out of Kalamazoo, and they were really great to work with. So we're going to probably continue that partnership next year. We had 2 scrap tire events. We got collected 3,264. That should just say tires, not tire equivalents. That was a lot of tires. We worked with Environmental Rubber out of Flint this year. That worked out really well for us. We had the rain barrel sale, sold 138 rain barrels, 7 composters, and that's through Upcycle Products out of the Chicago area. And this was the first year we tacked on, we put an $8 fundraiser for the $8 per barrel to go back towards the Battle Creek Area Clean Water Partners. We have recycle battery and light bulb kits here at the Department of Public Works. We have given out 274 of those battery kits and 122 light bulb kits this year. And that was through a grant from many, many years ago. So when those run out, we're done. We're not gonna replenish those, but we're trying to get them cycled out there. Earth Week, we had about 50 pounds of trash collected. Crazy for the Kazoo. In October, we had another 50 bags of trash, 15 new trees planted, and 6 large brush piles of invasives removed. Canoe the Kazoo in paddling event, we had 85 paddlers. They went from Sailor's Landing to Historic Bridge Park. That was in August. And through farmers markets and other public outreach this year, we spoke to the American Association of University Women, Rotary Club, Serial City Lions, Kiwanis, DPW Fair, and then the farmers market. We reached about 280 individuals face-to-face. Children's Water Festival, 530 students in 19 classes. And the in-river cleanup, that was a new one for us this year. We had 20 volunteers. We collected 20 tires, large pile of debris, 5 bags of purple loosestrife, and then just probably, I think there were about 10 bags of trash collected there, a barrel, all kinds of stuff. And then we had a grant to put some native flower plug plantings in along Jackson Street. We put in about 760 plugs, and then we did about 6 native trees for that too. So that kind of wraps up what the city did for our events this year.
Patty, a question about the presentations, the farmers market and other public education. Is there the same kind of message that's given in those to the different groups, or can you talk about?
Yeah, so we did 3 farmers markets, and we're trying to cycle through recycling, stormwater, and wellhead. So we kind of do, last year we did 2 of each, and this year we did 1 of each, so. And then they'll kind of tell us what they want. The Rotary Cereal and Lions, they just kind of wanted to know what we do in the environmental department and how they could get involved. And then the AAUW was recycling, so.
Did you see a response from Rotary and Kiwanis?
Yeah, they've been really active and very, yep, we have a good group of volunteers from that group, so, yeah. So,
Did you see more attendance with the farmer's market this past summer, or is it?
Stephen was at one, he and our intern Kaylin did one, so,
It was a pretty good turnout, I think. I don't have anything to reference it, but I thought it was pretty constant.
yeah. And it was weird this year because they were doing the construction at McCamley, so that kind of, yeah. So the first year we did it was COVID. Last year was kind of more normal, and this year was the construction at McCamley, so, yeah. So, but that's been a good way to get out there. It tends to be the same people each week, so that's why when you rotate the message, it's a little, they're a little more receptive to come and talk to you again, so, yeah. So, no more questions on that. We'll go on to, I'll give you an update. We're still working on our illicit discharge elimination program. We're chasing down a couple, one's on Angel and Parish, and then the other one was Byron and Wagner outfall. But we're testing and still, zeroing in on it, so we're working on that, and then continuing to do our dry weather monitoring as well. The next item, this is, our permit, our stormwater permit, is yours gonna be approved soon, or has yours been for Springfield?
They just sent the final over to us, so they're just about ready to submit it to Eagle
Okay.
for approval, so it's
Yep.
getting real close.
Ours is close too, and so as part of our review, Matt Hanauer from Eagle told us that the federal center, we just needed to change one line on the nested agreement, because the federal guidelines are a little more stringent. And so we submitted that, it has to go through our the city manager. And then we have just recently found out that those nested agreements have to go through city commission, so, and for approval, so we're now.
Yeah, he just sent me an email, wondered if we had anybody nested tagged to our permit, and I said, no, it's just Springfield itself, so.
Okay, so yeah, I think we're gonna be able to get it turned around pretty quickly, but KCC's has to go to city commission again too, so it's gonna be fine, but just a little hurdle we have to get over first, so, yeah.
Chad, do you guys have your stormwater, you have a GIS system or anything?
Yeah,
Is your stormwater on that?
yeah, stormwater, yeah.
Hi, how are you?
Is there a public link to that, or?
It's not, Kurt, I could share it with you.
Yeah, we wouldn't.
Okay. It's pretty close to what you guys have for the public GIS there, Kurt. It's real close to it. I compare back and forth just to
Yeah.
see what you guys and what I have, what I don't have, what you guys have.
Yeah, it certainly would be helpful.
Yeah, sure, I can get you a link to send that over to you, Kurt.
So, well, welcome, Matt. You wanna introduce yourself?
Sure. Yeah, I'm Matt Hanauer with Eagle. It's been a while since I've been to one of these meetings, but my door and phone number is always open if you guys have any questions about their permits or anything like that. So when it comes to MS4, I'm your Eagle contact.
Your timing was perfect. We
Yeah.
just
Yeah, do you
talking
wanna,
about
we've got a agenda, and this is live, just so you know, I like to
Okay.
give you a little heads up, so.
Thank you.
So Matt, we were just talking about, with the change that you asked us to make to the federal center nested jurisdiction, we now have to send it back through the city manager's office, and it has to go to city commission for approval again. So all 4 of our nesteds, Lakeview too, will have to go through city commission, but it should be, they're gonna try and get it through the January 3rd commission, so it shouldn't be too long before.
Okay, great.
Yeah, so, and then, are we still on for an audit for 2023?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, I think we've got all 3 MS4 groups up for audit this year, or just an inspection. What I've been doing is kind of going through just a few of the topics that you kind of do all the time, which is pollution prevention and good housekeeping. I check your public education activities, which I know is mostly done as a group for this. And then I'll go through and pick some site-specific things based on progress reports, if there's anything that stuck out to me into the past, or if there have been issues before my time here with previous inspections. We'll kind of go over some of those things. I've been using these inspections kind of just as a way to get people up to speed to what the new permit will entail, and that will most likely continue this year. We'll just kind of talk about the differences and make sure that everybody's on the same page with what needs to be done going forward.
So will only the city of Battle Creek be audited, or will you do the nesteds as well?
For nested, it'll just be Battle Creek.
Okay.
But I'll also be planning on doing Springfield and the Water Resources Commissioner. Is that?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, third one.
All right. So you two are off the hook. So, all right. Well, great. Any other updates from Eagle?
Nope, working on those permits. We finally got the permit section dedicated to stormwater, so we're pushing through MS4 permits, which have been put on the back burner for years, and so it's finally getting focused on and being put through. If you haven't heard, they're planning on making the next due date 2027 for a new application, so usually 5 years. I think it was 2027, but anyway. Yeah, they're making it, yeah, that'd be 5 years. Yeah, so that'd be the next time that the application was due.
Okay. All right. Well, good. So, okay. Any questions about? No? Okay. So in there's a site on M66 north of the bowling alley there that has had they're an oil processing facility, and they had a pipe that had a leak in it, and it's leaked out some water that has high chloride levels. And so there's been some remediation going on there, and Doug had wondered if we were doing any river sampling upstream of that facility. I know Stephen's doing a lot downstream, so that's something that we might want to look into, and yeah, it's a good idea to do that.
I was just curious about, you might expect to see, I mean, if
I
it's
was
making
wondering
it through the
about-
groundwater to the river, then upstream would be a background number and downstream would say whether it's different or not.
And yeah, actually the last couple of days we've had so usually, I don't know the terminology, but it's basically the levels in the past couple of months have been like the same as what they were last year when I was testing. And then right around the middle of November, whenever we had that big snowstorm, it doubled in chloride levels, which is kind of what we expected. And actually the last 2 days, it's been quadrupled. So without any kind of snow events or anything like that, it's 4 times as much as what it has
Can we
been.
compare that to what Bob's getting?
So,
He does quarterly monitoring, but I could see when his last quarterly samples are
He
monitoring.
stepped that up, so.
Did he? Okay. Well,
Do you
that's,
have I'm just, sorry.
oh, no, go ahead, go
I'm
ahead.
just wondering if you have any flexibility to explore
farther down or upstream.
further upstream, yeah.
I could, myself or whatever, maybe ask a couple of students or something like that to do it themselves too or something, but I could definitely do that with the strips that we already have. Just maybe looking to see what area I should go to
How
specifically.
close is Penfield High
That's what I
School?
was thinking. Well,
Yeah.
why don't we get Penfield High School to do it
Yeah,
right on?
I have some students that might be able to.
Oh, you do? Yeah, you have. Okay. Do you want to check into that and see if they'd be willing to do it? And we can get them more test strips so they could have a set of their own too. That would be great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be really interesting
Try
to
to
see.
talk to them tomorrow.
Yeah,
Great.
all right. Good idea. So, yeah. Yep, so we'll check with Bob Kane too out at Verona, see what he's got out there too. So, okay. Great. Well, I want to go over the budget. Does everybody have, budget? So we're starting up at the top in blue. We're starting right now with $24,355.24 in the budget right now. And then these are the items, that we would like to pursue in 2023. They're not much different than they have been in the past. We've done the Bill Stuffer magazine, other advertisements, and we can split that 1,600 with the wellhead budget. So this group it would be a budget of $800 for 2023. Radio spots, that's one of our big ticket items. We also split that with the wellhead budget, so our cost would be $6,750 for 2023. The wall calendar, we also split with wellhead, and that cost would be $6,375 for 2023. Printing, we did bump that up a little bit, and I wanted to give you some examples. We looked at some of our brochures and things that we've had, and they're just pretty outdated, and so we were looking at getting some new, nicer things. Like this is just an example of something we had done for wellhead, but there's an artist in Kalamazoo that he's just eye-catching, and he works pretty cheap, and it's just fun, just different looking stuff. So we're looking at maybe having him do some more brochures and updating some information for us. So the printing for those would be around $1,500. We just kind of threw out a ballpark of some things that we might want. Promo items, like those would be giveaways at the farmer's market and other events. We put in $1,000 for that. And then if we wanted, last year we gave away 3 rain barrels. 2 went to KCC, and then 1 we just had a raffle at the farmer's market, but that was kind of fun to have those. So if we decide we want to do that, I budgeted for 3 rain barrels for different giveaways. And then we had a Boy Scout group two summers ago put storm drain markers on some of the inlets. And those were just some storm drain markers that we happened to have around. So I thought that might be good to get some groups that might be interested in doing that. So I budgeted for that, $1,340. And then website hosting and updates, we can split that with wellhead. And so that'd be about $1,000 from this budget. And then artist graphics and videos, we put in $5,000 just if we want to update some of this stuff. So, and that might include a new video for Stonewater. So just kind of leaving that a little loose there. And then the other charges at the bottom are photo contest, Crazy for the Kazoo, Children's Water Festival, Farmers Market, and then miscellaneous events. And last year we used some of that category for a grant match for a couple grants. And then in yellow there, the rain barrel fundraiser, we sold 138 barrels last year, but there's gotta be a point where that slows down, but I don't know. So I was pretty conservative and went 75 barrels, so that would be a profit to us of $600. So the budget, if we spent everything, which we haven't in the past, but if we did, it would be $28,547.50 for 2023. So.
Patty, how many radio spots?
Oh gosh, it's a lot. I have a schedule. It's, it goes on KFR, RKR, BXX, and then we do, with the city of Kalamazoo, we do some during the weekday drive time. Most of them are on weekends because it's cheaper. But we do, with Kalamazoo, I think we end up with 8 for the year, like week-long during the weekday drive time. So those are big ticket items. But yeah, but I could get you the schedule, but I don't have it off the top of my head. It varies.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
So.
I'm interested in just learning a little bit more about that whole process.
Yeah, I can set you up with somebody. She'll walk you through it all. So,
Great. All right.
So all right. So, does anybody have any comments or things they'd like to see, not like to see on here that you'd like to change? All right. If I can have a motion to approve the 2023 budget.
I'll make a motion to approve it.
All right, thank you. Second.
I support that.
All right, thank you. All approved? All right, great, thank you. And we're just trying to look at some new ideas for getting the nesteds, and all of you involved a little bit more, or just, building on partnerships here. Like, Andy, we were looking at, City of Kalamazoo has KVCC nested under them, and they're using some students to do videos for them and some artwork and that sort of thing. So is that something maybe we could chat with somebody over at KCC about doing something like that? And
Yeah. I can ask around and then set something up to
Yeah.
see what we're thinking and then get the right groups.
Okay.
Yeah, most definitely, because we're actually, so we have our first, for one group, our first year seminar students. They usually do volunteering, so they can definitely help out.
Yeah, that would be great. Yeah, we'll chat then, so. And then if we get some new brochures, just helping us get some of those distributed at your facilities, and, if you have ideas for events that we can help on, or, just trying to get a little bit more, partnership going here. So, open for ideas. So, and then I also wanted to remind everybody, we have that Enviroscape. Stevens used it, but it hasn't gotten much use yet. We've had it at the farmer's market, but if the schools, Frank, if anybody at the schools might want it, it's a big model, and it looks like, I should have brought it in, but it's like a 3D landscape, and you can put little sprinkles to represent pollution, and you make it rain, and it flows into the river and lake, so it's a good visual. But the idea of getting that was so some of the schools could take it. And
I'll check with Wendy, because she probably she has more of the communication piece in the school.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be great.
Did we give up on the one that, I can't remember the big one at, Kingdom Museum that,
Yeah, so there's a big groundwater model at the Kingman Museum, and the Kingman Museum's been abandoned for, a couple years now? But it's probably the size of that screen there, and it is interactive, and you can, put pollution, have it come in, but it's, needs it needs maintenance. You can't just set it somewhere and not do anything with it. So it's just sitting there, and we don't know what to do with it. The company that built it was supposed to come and, give us an idea of what it would cost to move it and give us a maintenance plan on it, but that was about a year ago, and they never responded, so. But it looks like our watershed here. It's painted into the wall like the Battle Creek River, and it's pretty cool, but.
I remember seeing that years ago down there.
Yeah, I think the Math and Science Center would be a great spot for it.
I asked our principal, he doesn't seem too interested in it, but.
I know, I asked him too. I know, so, yeah, but if anybody has any ideas for that, because it is really neat, but it's big, and
Can you get a picture of it?
yeah, I
to
have a picture of
send me,
it.
or
I might
whoever's
be able to, I
interested?
wonder if I could pull it up here. It's somewhere in my files. Let's see. You haven't seen it? Where would it be hiding? Might be under the line. But it's really neat, but it's just not real practical to have around. I don't see it here. I have it somewhere, so I won't waste your time looking, but I'll send it out to everybody. Yeah, so. But yeah, it's got all kinds of plumbing behind it too, so it needs, I think, I was led to believe like monthly maintenance on it, so, yeah. Are you thinking you want it?
No.
KCC, maybe? So,
I mean, I will say no, but it's not my say.
No, I mean, and I need to know more about it. It'd be interesting to see how you could use it, I guess.
I know, it'd be nice if it were portable, but it's not, like, it's big. Mhm. Yeah.
could throw some wheels on it, or?
Is it pretty specific to this area, or?
Kind of.
Okay.
I mean, it could, Not really, I mean, maybe it's just that it's painted, the wall is painted, so there's Battle Creek behind it, you know,
Oh, I
so it
see,
looks
yeah,
like, yeah.
yeah.
But,
Huh.
yeah. We work for Kalamazoo. So there's that, and then Bessie is thinking maybe in 2024, the water festival could be in person again, so is KCC still willing to host that if we were to do it? Maybe?
Yeah, I mean, open to discussion, that's
Okay.
for sure. I mean, we've done it in the past, so
Right,
why not?
yeah,
That's how I see it. I mean,
yep. And we've
So
never,
this year we're still going.
I think so, yeah, that was the plan, so yeah. Well, that's all I have, so we can just go around and give everybody updates. I wanna hear about your day yesterday, Chaz, what happened? So, all right, Doug, you got anything for the group?
Let's see. I guess the short answer is no, I don't really have anything specific here for the group. I know that one of the topics that we've been especially interested in lately is just spill-related things. Was the spill at Graphic Packaging. That's gotten a lot of attention in the community, and there's more to come on that. So I think just trying to understand the impact of spills, and most importantly, spill prevention. But I don't have anything specific, but I'm interested in pressing into that topic, especially in the coming year, few months, to try to make the most out of the spills that are here, at least in terms of trying to make it clear that it can happen and what can be done to prevent it. Prevention's kind of a 24/7, 365 thing, but sometimes it doesn't cost a lot to do some things that are prevented, so. Nothing new on the forestry grant. We're still waiting to actually have that come into place. So nothing new there to report other than it's still a possibility. So I'll keep it at that.
Okay, all right. Chaz?
Battle Creek Honda had a spill yesterday. They have a big tank that holds all their used motor oil for doing oil changes or whatnot. The pump truck that pumps the oil out blew a line on it, which caused used motor oil to leak all over the ground, runs down the driveway. Made it to the city storm, possibly to the river. So Kendall County Emergency Manager was contacted. They contacted the EPA. So that's where kind of it lies right now, waiting to see what the EPA wants to do with it. But I don't know how many gallons. That hasn't been, I don't know if haven't measured how much is leaked out, but that's as much as I know right now on it, Patty.
Okay. Did they put booms out or anything, or was it?
I think so,
Yeah.
but I don't think it was, I'm not talking thousands of gallons, but it was probably, I'm guessing around just what I saw down there, probably 50 to 100 gallons of oil, so. They said, when they first talked to me, they're like, it's just a little bit, and I got down there and I'm like, that's not a little bit.
Started as a little bit.
Yeah, started as a little bit.
Are those trucks that they use equipped with any type of material to help stop if that happens?
They have like,
For a temporary, quick thing?
I know they carry like oil dry, floor dry, like that on there, but I don't think they have any kind of thing to contain that much at one time.
I mean, so if they had some of those snakes or whatever,
Tubes,
they
like
could
that.
tubes, they could kind of invert it until somebody can get there with some bigger equipment would be helpful.
Yeah, the fire department got there pretty quick. I think they sent the hazmat team down there too to try to contain it as quick as possible, but I think it's still leached into the city storm and whatnot, so.
Wow. Did they ever get off the parking lot, or did it just from the parking lot?
From the parking lot, yeah. Yeah, they stopped before it got to the road, but they're still thinking that possibly some got into the city storm, so Hopefully it didn't make
Through the
it.
parking lot.
Yeah, through the parking lot, yeah.
You know if they had sumps?
I don't think they had any in their curb. Like I said, it's one of those things that doesn't, it does happen, but it's kind of one of those freak things that had to happen yesterday.
Yeah.
On top of everything else we got going on,
Yeah.
We've been replacing fire hydrants and valves, we've found quite a few broken water valves, so we've been taking care of all that, and then I got that call yesterday, I'm like, it's great, we get 10 steps ahead and 10 steps back.
Yeah, that's the way it goes, yeah. So,
That's all I have to report for Springfield at this time, Patty.
okay,
I'll let you know as I get more information and stuff on that too.
okay, all right. And then you said you can get us your storm layer too?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yep.
that'd be great. Great, okay. Frank, you got anything at Lakeview?
Yeah, we finished up our football field last fall and got to play a few games on it. They didn't play very well on it, but
Does it drain well?
so far it seems to do fine.
Quite an underground system.
Yeah, they had to do some modifications to, we were working with Myers, so they've got a drain pond as well that
Yeah.
we're kind of sharing.
Is it working together then?
Yeah, oh yeah, we have a signed commitment with them that we're updating that as well because we know it's gonna change a little more and they're looking at, I understand, I found it yesterday, they're looking at doing something with their old parking lot where they had the old store.
Oh, yeah.
Understanding that we're gonna have more rain events that are stronger than in the past, that they're looking at maybe turning it into some type of garden,
Oh, really?
water garden or something that would be, more capable of holding water versus just,
Just like
asphalt
gravel,
concrete, what they have right now. So I'm looking forward to hearing that come out in the future.
Could be a showcase. then.
Yeah. We're gearing up this spring to start our middle school renovations. You'll see, I'd say late April, early May, you'll start seeing the front section of the middle school come down. Or the library section area we're going to take out, and then we're going to put a two-story section
Oh, is that right?
in there, and that built right into that section to kind of blend in. Be doing a lot of parking lot upgrades, and it's about a 3.5 year commitment, so it's gonna be really good to get that started. It's gonna be good for Lakeview.
Is that still gonna be a library? That two-story?
Yeah, it'll be more technology library type stuff. That building was 1960, and it had the older libraries that I grew up with, where it's all books. And now everything's a little different now. So it'll be more modernized to that, and it'll be some classrooms and conference rooms built around it. It's gonna be really cool, and we're looking forward to that getting started this summer. So that's about it for Lakeview.
No, that's good. Matt, any more than what you've already told us at Eagle?
I don't think so, no.
Okay.
Nothing's come up in the last 30 minutes.
Stephen?
I think the only thing I had was the chloride level testing, so I got answered already, but doing well with that and looking forward to going once we get more snow to see what happens. But with the last couple of days with it being so high, I think that's really sparked interest in my students now because they were really concerned for how high it was. So
Do they have theories?
they didn't know what to think about it, so I haven't talked to them too much about it because we were just at the end of our class period yesterday when we did it. So
Are you doing it daily?
I try to do it daily. I missed Tuesday of this week, and then the weekends I haven't been doing it. But my goal is once I come back from winter vacation to do it daily, including on the weekends. So otherwise, it's been mostly daily, with the exception of a couple of days where I just forget to do it or something like that on like a random Tuesday or Monday or something.
Well, if you have like a graph you could share with us, we can get that out, that'd be kind of.
Yeah, absolutely.
See, so, yeah.
Last time you shared that, you guys were out in Dickerson Creek.
Yes.
looking for fun. Did you get anything interesting results?
Nothing that was of concern or anything like that. It's been pretty consistent, I think, from previous years, so it seemed pretty consistent at least from what we've seen before.
Cool little creek.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you have anything? Your forester's been doing work.
We've been working, but I haven't seen any, reports yet, so.
Jacob, what you got?
Nothing crazy.
Anything not crazy?
No, just doing the township routine.
So, oh.
I thought of a question for Matt, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if there is a public statewide spill database or any of that kind of thing? Is there for information that comes in on the Pease hotline, for example? Is there?
For every complaint, we put it onto what was My Waters, which has changed to My Enviro.
Right.
There's a way you can look at a Site Explorer, which brings up a map, and you should be able to filter through like spills and things like that. That'd be a good way to see.
Okay.
Good idea.
I think it was interesting too today, I learned as we were going through the chain of command, the fire, Eagle, and EPA, what they have. So it's the first call to the spill should be 911.
Yeah, we've kind of refined our process here and we've gone to just fire gets the first call, because they're don't waste time calling us, we'll come after fire's responded, so, yeah. Well, I don't know if Andy has anything to add, but can you talk about what you guys talked about last night at your meeting, the filming?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I should have asked that, not know.
Yeah, you were talking to Bessie.
I was.
Just connecting the dots. So, one of our funding sources, one of the Kalamazoo River Watershed Council's funding sources is Eagle's Public Advisory Council grant, which goes to Great Lakes areas of concern that have been identified for decades now. And for the Kalamazoo River, it is from the Monroe Dam to Saugatuck. That's where the PCB contamination mostly has happened, and is the focus of the cleanup of PCBs so that the PCB levels in fish come down so that fish can be eaten again. Right now, that most of that stretch is do not eat any of the fish. So anyway, that's one of our big funding sources, and we're now submitting another proposal. I pushed send today on a request for funding for fiscal year 2023 through 2025. And one of the things that we would do, one of the things we're proposing to do, if it gets funded, is to work with a filmmaker who lives in Kalamazoo who's done area of concern and pollution films before, kind of anything from, a 2-minute trailer to a 45-minute documentary film. And he's worked on the east side of the state. They just did one for Monroe and that area of concern over there. But we're proposing to work with him to do somewhere around 10-minute documentary of the area of the Kalamazoo River area of concern, the history, the pollution history, and then also what's being done in the cleanup and what the vision for the future is and that kind of thing. So we're hoping that will get funded. We're also hoping it'll get funded because part of the broader concept here is to have that 10-minute thing be episode 1 in a bigger series where we could reach out throughout the watershed and do different episodes in different parts of the watershed so that we could connect, we could focus on other areas that are not in the area of concern where people have a connection to the river, but it's different than Kalamazoo's connection to the river or to Saugatuck or Douglas and that kind of thing. So that's the longer term vision. it starts with hopefully getting funding to do the one episode piece in the Kalamazoo. And we're gonna, assuming we get funded, we're gonna create that one so that it's a standalone piece as well as being kind of the introduction for a longer series, so.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
I'm really excited about it. I'm hoping that we can generate a lot of excitement. One of the questions that was asked last night is a really relevant one, which is, okay, so you spend the money and you do this and you have this 10-minute movie, how do you share it with other people? And a big part of the answer is we aren't creating, the idea is not to create a project or a product with just a few people and then share that. The idea is to share the whole effort and get people involved so that we can hear from people as a part of the production of even the first 10-minute piece. And then people are connected, you've got a better representation of how people look at the river and what the big hitting issues are. And you already have built into that, therefore, the potential to share it wide quickly because people are invested in products.
Well, that's cool. Is Monroe's online or available anywhere?
I can send you a link to, yes and no. There's a 10-minute spot that is online and publicly available. The 45-minute piece there, actually Monroe is getting ready to do a community like premiere showing of it. We got a chance to see it at a meeting earlier this fall, and it's really good. And that link isn't available yet, but I can share the link to the shorter ones.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Great, so, all right. Cool. Well, we'll give Andy a minute to come back in, but otherwise, that's all I had, if no one else has anything, but. If anybody, Frank, I think Lakeview got some calendars, but if anybody wants some calendars, we've got bunches. They're from the Kalamazoo River watershed, so, yeah,
How do you distribute these?
all over the place, so. We give
Mailing
some,
or
no,
drop-off?
drop off, yep. And then like you took, I don't know how many boxes you took, but,
Took 3 boxes, I think.
yeah.
And they're a lot larger this year than.
Yes. They're a
It's
lot
like
heavier.
200 pounds a box.
I know.
Yeah, Betsy and Patty can tell you about that.
I know, I was so sore
Work
that
out
I
at the same time.
Andy, do you have anything that you want to share with the group that's happening at KCC?
Really, we're just waiting on the state to let us know where we stand with projects that we have in with them for money-wise. And then once that's all determined, then we can determine which projects we get to tackle. Some ones that are going, like we're doing one of our chiller rebuilds. So it's a 750-ton chiller that we're rebuilding. So we basically get a brand new chiller out of it. New drive, so it's all, energy efficient and, basically runs like a brand new machine. Everything's all re-insulated.
Are you tapping into the Simcoe?
Yeah. Yeah, and we did the other one, because we have 2 chillers, so we did the other one 2 years ago. So now we're doing this one this year.
Those are fantastic.
And in between the 2 years, we redid half of our boilers. So then in another, hopefully, I don't know where it is now, 3 years or so, we can do our other half of our boilers. We have 10 boilers that does our whole main campus.
All the time.
So we can,
Do you put them like individually in different buildings, or do you have?
all one building.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
Works pretty well.
High efficiency type boilers, or do they do?
Yep, high efficiency condensating boilers. I mean, we have some old ones that have been running for a good 15, 20 years. So those are the backups right now.
We actually still have one steam left.
No steam.
We're trying to get rid of the whole building.
Yeah, so we're just waiting, really.
Okay.
And then we want to do a bunch of HVAC work at some of our outer campuses. So it's costly and no one sees any of it, but it's very efficient. We added a couple roofs this past fall that they finally got finished. So we had to add a new roof in Coldwater and in Hastings. So, yeah, other than that, now we're just waiting, see what we can do this summer.
All right, so.
Frank, is that Westlake that, not what, Amigas that has that steam?
No, actually, it's territorial.
Territorial.
Yeah, that's a,
That's one of the older ones.
I keep warning them. I said, you're pushing your luck here. Between that and the roof on that building. It's pretty bad.
Well, all right, I guess we will adjourn. Thanks, everyone, for coming.